Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole. Here I believe in winning together and creating a safe, supportive space for people to share their stories and start their healing journey. My passion is to help people confront hidden battles, embrace their truths, and take steps towards a more fulfilling life. Every episode is designed to break the silence on topics that often go unspoken, leading to conversations that uplift, inspire, and transform. Join me as we break the barriers and find strength through shared experiences, one story at a time. Hey everyone, and welcome to another powerful episode of Breaking the Silence. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole, and this is the platform where the light shines on incredible people who are doing great things and making a difference in the world. Together, we will uncover untold stories, break barriers, and challenge the norms to inspire change. So get ready to be inspired, learn, and join this movement as we break the silence on issues that matter the most and bring awareness to great people in the world. So let's dive into today's episode. Man, today's guest has a resume that will blow your mind. I'm telling you. And if I had not asked him how to say his name, I would have messed it up. He said Christou DaKeeng, and I hope I said that right. He is an award-winning recording artist from South Carolina. You know, South Carolina is my place, y'all, born and raised. So I love to put people in the spotlight from South Carolina. He has a lot of experience in the music industry in areas of singing, songwriting, producing, and artist development. His vibrant melodies and creative wordplay have captivated audiences worldwide. For the year of 2025, let me tell you what he's trying to do, y'all. He's setting a goal to release a song every single month. Yes, every single month. Who's going to do that? Now, you know he grinding. So after his countdown, please welcome this amazing gentleman to the Breaking the Silence platform.
I love you, girl. That's why I said I do. I will protect our world. My every word is true. Communication and trust, that's what they scared to do. Don't tally up my flaws, and I won't tally yours.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? Nikki Nicole, what's happening?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being a guest on my platform. I'm excited about putting you in the light.
I appreciate it. I thank you for having me, you know. I love what you're doing with it. You know what I mean? You bringing light to things that people really need to know about, that goes under the radar. So I appreciate you for having me on there.
Thank you. So tell everybody this. We're going to start here. Now, you've built this impressive career. This impressive career in music, from singing to songwriting to producing. Now, how did you and the mic meet? And what's kept you motivated throughout all these years?
So, I started very young in music. I was singing since I was 3 years old in churches. And so I go from church platform to church platform and, put my music out there, and sing, I got popular there, in that scene. But my mom, she actually won a lot of poetry contests. So from that point, she was encouraging me to do poetry, and so I did that, and that's what got me into songwriting. So by the time I was 12, I made my first hip-hop song because I was influenced by people like Outkast, Ludacris, people like that. So from that point on, I was I think I could do this. I did really well in the studio. I rapped and sang on my first song, something that really wasn't being done at all. And then from that point, I grew up to, go to college, experience a few things. I had a few opportunities on the table that fell through. And then in South Carolina, I hit the radio with a song called Fly Away with Kenny Kane. And most people know the hook. You'll hear it on the radio today. I sing a little bit. I'm so high you are not seeing me fly, 'cause I'm so up in the clouds, zone now, and I done been up, 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 up and away. So most people know me for that, you know what I mean? So for that time, I took off with that, and had some ups and downs through those experiences, learned a lot about life, and moved on to produce my own music, to work with a lot of great producers. My engineer partner Uzi is like a world-class engineer, man. I give him a lot more credit than he gives himself, but that dude is the dude. So just took that and evolved and grew and started publishing myself musically. Learned to become a label myself. I do my graphics and things like that. So and then I won a few awards for things I've done throughout the years. And, that passion to continue to move on. It's been a lot of people around me that's, family, my kids, what I'm saying, my wife, everybody that just keep me going through anything I'm ever going through, So I'm thankful for the people around me that just keep me pushing and keep me motivated to just to break new ground, within the industry and help other artists at the same time while I'm doing it.
I love it. That's incredible. Started in the church. Most artists start in the church, though. Most artists start there. Most artists start writing poetry before they actually start writing songs. So that's nothing new that, but you took it to the producing and everything. So now, my next question has to be, we talked about this a little bit behind the scenes, but what is the meaning and the story behind your stage name?
So me and mom, so I'm a mama's boy. I was raised by my mom. So me and mama was watching a movie, and like she heard Christou popping, like, so she thought in the song, like, that was the artist name, Christou. So from that point, it just like she kept saying it. I was like, nah, mom. After a while, I was like, nah, that's a champagne reference. She was like, well, you should use that as your name, but just spell it with Christ in it. And so, from that point on, like, I did, and then I just formulated the way it was, and come to find out it was a Greek last name. So, which means son of Christ or of Christ, like of higher knowledge, And so from that point, it just stuck. Like I kept it, and it's been profound with me throughout. Most people say Christou, which isn't wrong, but the way I pronounce it is Christou.
Yeah, I was gonna mess it up. That's why I had to ask you.
Yeah.
So with having such a diverse experience in the industry, which role, being a singer, songwriter, or producer, do you feel mostly connected with, and why?
Really all of it. Like I see music as a marriage of the whole. And so, really just every element of it I'm intrigued by. I played in a marching band when I was young. I had the opportunity to play the snare, the bass, the quads, and I've been in orchestras. So like I did like, the like xylophones, the dang, I'm forgetting what stuff called, but like even like little cymbals. Oh, timpanis. I did timpanis. Those are actually kind of hard to play.
Yeah.
Because you have to like know notes, and you have to read and like play percussion, but it be melodic at the same time. So like that was a cool experience. But so I've been in every facet of it: the singing, the vocal training. In college I studied music with the emphasis of voice. So I had like professional voice training, and I had a very high range at a younger voice. So like I had like a Michael Jackson 5 voice, and from that point, I sang a lot of high notes, but I didn't know how to register my lower tenor, you know what I mean? And she kind of taught me how to go back and forth, between both. So, even the exercises, the practices, the things I need to do to just stay right, So shout out to Atlanta University for that. And yeah, but I didn't finish school. So like I am, kind of like the Kanye story of the college dropout, but I took everything and learned to teach myself a lot and just stay persistent in learning and growing and involving myself.
Love it. I was in the marching band too. I was in the marching band from like 6th grade to 12th grade. So being
Word.
in the marching band, I played the trumpet though. Now don't ask me to blow nothing now because I'm telling you I'd be out of breath trying to blow it
Yeah.
now. But but being in the marching band, being in the marching band, it was a lot of discipline. You
Right.
had to really practice like every single day on the marching band. Then on the weekends, we had competitions, we had
Right.
parades to go to. It was a lot
Right.
you had to do. Plus, you had to be in fit. You had to be fit too because you had to sometimes march like 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles in a parade. So marching band, I know taught you a lot of discipline about music industry in general, the
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, definitely with the creation process and the understanding of feeling and what you
Mm-hmm.
want the audience to understand with music. A lot of that, we get from that because like at the Friday nights at the football game, like we get in the crowd hype with the team. It's like the
Yep.
team that got a good band. They finna do something this year. You know what I mean? Because the band keeping everybody involved, and then so it's just all about energy and the flow of that and understanding that they don't really teach you how to verbalize it, but they teach you how to feel it. You know what I mean? And so, at that point, you can take that and, grow with it beyond. So
Exactly.
that's what
I
I love
agree.
about that.
So now every artist has a different creative process. So what is your creative process like for you when you're writing a song? Do you start with the melody, the lyrics, or the concept first? And I always ask this question about lyrics and beat because to me, I'm learning from interviewing a lot of different artists that lyrics do matter. They do
Yeah.
matter. But
Yeah.
from an audience standpoint, you hear that beat, and if the beat, isn't appealing, then maybe about 5-10 seconds, I'm trust me, I'm skipping that song. If it don't sound good, I'm skipping it. So I'm never gonna know what you say. So how
Yeah.
does your creative process look like when you're writing a song?
For me, it's a matter of what I'm feeling in the moment. Uh Majority of the times it started off with a melody first for me. I know some people it's the other way around. They'll start off with lyrics and then they'll draw in a melody from that. It depends on the song. It might be I might hear an instrumental that brought the situation to my mind. Like I paint a picture of what I'm seeing while I'm listening to this instrumental, and so I write based on what I visualize from what the instrumental draws from me, and then at that point I'll like marry the melodies with the words and the situation, if that makes sense. It's a complex, saying it out loud makes it sound like real complex, but in
No,
reality,
because
yeah.
I've written songs before, and the crazy part about it is when I was younger, I could write a song without listening to a melody.
Yeah.
I can just sit down and write because I wrote poetry too. So I can just sit down and write something without a melody. But now I don't know what the difference is, but I have to have something to listen to, like some type of instrumental to get me in the mood to write. And it's more
Yeah.
complicated now.
It's an ode to technology in that standpoint. At that same point, you can just go to YouTube and look something up. Back then you had to know somebody that made beats. You know what I mean? Like so now, or use something that was off the radio. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, you have open space to be more creative, and it's harder to not utilize that. It's like you got gold right here and you can go spend this gold, and it's hard to like be in a simple space and create
Mm-hmm.
when you can just walk over here and grab some gold.
Exactly.
So I think it's just the different spaces technology bring to the table now. They bring such a diverse landscape that you can have a feeling and say, you know what, let me write a country song right now, and then YouTube it up, and then it's right there available to you. So I think I had artist development early in music, so like when they don't do that no more. So like back then it was like you would go through a series of things to figure out how you write the best song, and then you like take the winning formula and repeat that over and over again. Like now you don't really have that, you know what I'm saying? So people they have a tougher time figuring out with so much space, like where do I go, you know?
Mhm. I agree. So with that being said, what do you think is the most meaningful part about a song? Do you think it's the lyrics that matter the most or the beat?
Um I think it is really I think it's like subjective. I think it's really like the user, like the person, the consumer, the person that's taking in is what they feeling from it. Because I've written some songs with one intention and somebody else got a whole other experience from it. You know, I've had a song in the past called Through the Motions where it talked about a relationship and how it wasn't working and people wasn't communicating, but somebody else was, you know what, like I with your song, I saw all the red flags of what I wasn't getting. So I knew I needed to cut off that relationship. And in that conversation, I'm like, well, that's not what I was intending, you know. So, but I'm happy you found, your happiness. So, I think it's really like, really on the consumer themselves and what they're listening to and how they get their feeling from it. But with making the music is putting an intention out there, putting that energy out there of like, okay, well, this is what I want people to feel. That's what's gonna make the best song, regardless. Like you just doing it just to copy what somebody else did, really ain't gonna pan out that great. But when you have intention, a feeling of what you want to do with it, you dive deeper into the song, then that song probably gonna do better than most other songs you do.
I agree. I agree. Now, what the music industry changed so much over time. Like we went from what vinyl, cassette tapes,
Yeah,
CDs, all these different now to streaming. What do
yeah.
you think is the biggest challenge for independent artists today?
Um, Individualism, like being themselves, that is the hardest thing to do when so many people are succeeding in the copy and paste era. So I think that's the hardest thing for artists to do. And it's harder for them to figure out how to monetize them, make them appealing to the mass audience without having to compromise who they are. And I mean, there's things you can do to enhance yourself, but you have to see yourself as the end goal. You know what I'm saying? You can't see Beyonce as the end goal of your dream. You can't see Mariah Carey as the end goal of your dream. I can't see Michael Jackson as the end goal of my dream. Like I love and adore Michael Jackson, but at the same time, it's not like I don't want to be him. I want to be me and the greatest version of me to the extent that it reaches so many people like Michael Jackson did being himself.
Right. I love how you put that, the copy and paste error. Whew. I said, no, he didn't say copy and paste error. I love it. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's hard for people to stay authentic in this time period because, like you said, everybody wants to go viral. Like that's a good thing. It's a
Yeah,
good thing for numbers, but in the dictionary, it's not. So
right.
everybody wants to go viral. I mean, if they really thought about that, do you really want to go viral?
Right. An
But
infestational spread that is exceedingly fast. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So how do
yeah.
you, after being in the music industry so long, how do you stay authentic on your journey?
Um, I learned to own myself.
Mhm.
So like anything I do from this point forward, I benefit off of financially. You know what I mean? Like my site, ChristouDaKeeng.com is mine. I build websites. So I put that together. Um, the product I have coming out in this spring is mine, you know what I mean? 100% authentic, you know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, I learned about my publishing, my music company. Like in order for a label to do a deal with me, they have to go through my publishing and we have to talk numbers in that standpoint. So like giving yourself leverage, you know what I mean? Like in this situation, you don't come to the table just asking, hey, give me a $2 million deal. And they be like, okay, but I own your name. I own this. I own that. You didn't dot these T's. You didn't cross these I's. You didn't do this for yourself. So I'm basically gonna be the rest of you for you. So in turn, I get 20 million off your 2 million, and it's gonna take you a while to pay that 2 million back. But we gonna make some money together. And that's pretty much how deals be working. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like for me, I learned to say, you know what, let me sign myself to myself. So they gotta buy me from myself. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like if I'm doing paper, official paper, legal documents with myself, my legal company entity, Omni Empire, then at the end of the day, you have to approach Omni Empire about acquiring Christou DaKeeng, not the other way around. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what gives me the confidence to like do what I want to do and be me. Also, just again, an ode to, you know, being blessed to have the people around. That's my core people. You know, they tell me like, nah, you moving into doing, like I do that. Like I'm not everybody else. I see the shiny objects too. Like I wanna be Drake too. You know what I mean? Like, you know, not really, but you know, it's just, you know, I wanna, you know, have a mass audience too that pays my family
Right.
financially, you know, to where I can do this all the time and not have to worry. You know, that's what everybody wants in the creative sense of things, you know. But because you're creative, you get taken advantage of by people that know how to duplicate creation over and over again, and they get rid of the creator. And you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, just continue to be you, because even if you be hot to a label, they can just push you aside and create another you know. So especially at this point with AI, like they can just kind of copy and paste you like as a person.
That's so sad. That copy and paste
Yeah.
you. So to the naked eyes out here like me, how do you plan to do? You said you're gonna release a song every single month.
Yeah, so far in January, I started off January 1st. I started off the new year with Stay in Their Head. It's a hot song. It's on all streaming platforms. It's a hip hop, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of singing on the hook. It's a real fire song. So and then February this month, you know what I mean? Well, the month that, you know, I've been planning for this to happen. February is going to be the release of a song called Aquaman. Shout out to Aquarius season. Shout out to the Pisces coming up right behind it. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So the Aquaman, you know what I mean? It's really like it's a romantic vibe, but like saying some real pimpin' slick stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's basically what Aquaman is. And then the next song coming out, you know, releasing soon as you see this, is Trillionaire, which is just an ode to anybody on their grind that's like was doubted. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you go to independent path, a lot of people doubt you, and they think like, oh, okay, well, without me, you're not gonna make it because you don't have the hustle I have. And it's like, oh, like you doubt me as a person at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let me get there. You know what I mean? I'm finna show you. So, you know, shout out to everybody that, you know, when you see this, you buy my product Cord. That's my brand. You know, I'm coming out with a cologne line in the fall. You know what I mean? So like, you know, shout out to everybody that buy Cord from me, everybody that look for the Cord cologne. That's coming out. Like I'm already ready for that. You know what I mean? So y'all just look for that in the fall. Yeah, just stay like it's like stay over here with Christou. You know what I mean? It's so much I'm finna unveil. Like, you
listen.
know, I'm just ready for it. And I thank you for this platform. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You sitting here talking about a song of mud. You know, back in the day, let's go back in the day now a little bit. I like to talk about the Temptations a lot because I can never get that scene out of my head where they went to Motown and they sat there and they recorded and recorded and recorded for hours on hand and said, let people vote on their songs. And then finally, they voted and got one song. Now, you talking about releasing one song a month.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
means you're grinding.
I got so much in the studio that I have not released that, you know, I probably, and then I'm still like making new songs all the time. So it's like, you know, I need to show people one, my diversity, like to show it quick, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so much, it's quicker now. You know, back then you did a lot to get up to that
Yeah.
grand surprise. Now you can just go on Instagram and a surprise will be there tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it's like, just moving up to the pace of I've seen other artists independently do that too, to where they just give their people enough. You know what I mean? So people can ride listening to you. And that's my whole thing is like, I got a catalog, but I want to give people even more so that they can just, they can, if they choose to, they can ride listening to Christou all day. You know what I mean? I'm not an egotistical person. I am a Leo, but I'm not an egotistical person. Like I have everybody's best interest in heart. You know what I mean? So, but my wife, people around me told me, man, you need to just step into yourself and embrace yourself a lot more. So that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I'm showing people like I got a pop song, I got a slow R&B song. I released a hip hop song, like a rap hip hop song first. I got like a freaky song, like all the women gonna love Super Freak. That joint gonna be fire. And I'm saying a lot of names right now. I'm supposed to be unveiling these later, but for the people that tuned in right now, this you heard it here first. So just be on the lookout of all this greatness because everything is fire. Like I'm not. It's nothing out of these releases for 12 months because I got so much music. I can just do the same Temptations project process and just weave through these. Like, you know what? This one gonna hit the market better. This one is gonna affect this time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking it. I'm taking the opportunity to expound on like, okay, well, this is what I can do. I can do a rough, tough, like rock song. I can do so much, man. I think comparably as an artist to another artist, maybe like Bruno, Bruno Mars. But I always tell people I'm the male Doja Cat. So like Doja Cat is very versatile and she can go a lot of different places. I'm the male version of that. And I've been that for a while, but like I've been through a lot of situations myself to where it wasn't my time. And I'm thankful to God that it wasn't my time because I've gained so much more in learning how to deal with things as an adult versus as a younger man. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful to God that the time is now.
Time is now. So
25 is mine. I've been saying that for a minute. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But with you releasing those singles like that, do you plan to put those in an album form or are you just trying them out? Because you know how some people put singles out and then some people put EPs out. And then some people do albums. But I look at it like this. If you put 4 songs out at one time, or even if you put 1 song out and you see which songs hit, then you can put them together on one album and you ride.
Yeah. Yeah. So because you can stream so much, my idea was just to put these songs out as separate individual entities, and then at the end of all this, release a full album. The album is going to be fully cohesive and just a whole story that will have some nice visuals tagged along so that you can really follow it. But that's something that is like full background work. Like that's something that we are like procuring as we speak. You know what I mean? So in the process of doing all this other stuff, I'll be doing that in the background and setting the scene for 2026.
I love it. Love it.
I mean, Netflix don't stop giving you new content. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of how I'm looking at myself as an artist, in this day and age. Is like, you know what? Unleash your inner voice, as you say. Like my inner voice has been there for a while. I've known, the level of things that I could have done for a while, but I've lost them. I've never had grandparents as a kid, so like I had great aunts and stuff like that. So the only one that was left living, I lost her right after my song popped. Then I found out I was a father right after my song popped. So and my daughter stays like 300 miles away from me. So that was something I had to navigate. That was, and then also that because she had dementia, so we was taking care of her daily. So that was something, I had to navigate during that time. And then a couple of years ago, after I had a failed business venture on a trucking company, the trucking company is still in good standing, but I just lost a lot of money. I lost my sister at the same time, around that same time. So, and got locked up, for having my gun in the wrong place in my car. So, just facing all that stuff, like all at once. At first I took it as a personal thing of like, man, I'm being punished for something. I don't even know what I did. I always have good intentions. So like, I just took it as a punishment, but really it was just like, things that naturally just happen, one, and B, just God's timing of like, nah, you need to take care of this first. These people right here need you. Like I do stuff for my mom, my dad and mom always been kind of like older than my peers' parents. So like, at this point, I help them take care of things they need to take care of financially, help them organize things. If they ever got in debt, I helped my mom get out of debt after a mental breakdown situation she had with schizophrenia. So like I had to do a lot of things early as a child as if I'm an adult. You know what I mean? Like, so I had these kind of things, like as I got later into my 20s, I'm living my life as like a teen. You know what I mean? So like now it's like I'm experiencing things I probably would have experienced in high school. Like it's kind of like Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson, had to be an adult singing at these shows, as a kid. Like that's why he never really got the experience being a child, because he had to be a professional since 5 years old. So you miss out on certain things that you see the rest of the world doing. And that's kind of like how my life kind of transformed, but it was for the better, because like I said, I learned to be, a few years from now, you're going to be talking to like probably a billionaire, you know what I mean? Because of everything I've learned legally, everything I learned to set in place, just helping people in my community establish businesses, dealing with stocks and cryptocurrencies and things of that sort, and it comes out in my music, but with like flair, you know what I mean? So like a lot of that stuff goes over people's head because they're not truly listening to my lyrics. But when you dive back into my lyrics, my life comes out. I speak the truth about everything, in my music, so.
And you talking about a couple of years. I'm talking to a billionaire now. You got to speak it existing now. You can't be talking about in a couple of years. What you doing?
Yeah.
Oh man. So I got one more question for you. This is kind of like an out of the box question.
Let's get it.
If your music could serve as a legacy, something that continues to inspire even long after you're gone, what would you want the core message of your work to be for future generations to come?
Man, that's easy. It's a part of my vision statement for myself. My one of my cousins made me write a vision statement for myself, which took me forever because I didn't understand it, to do it for a person instead of a business. But once I learned to understand what I really wanted out of what I'm doing, it helped me understand like how I need to form this. And overall with my music is the same message Christ had. And it's like I'm not like a person to preach religion on people, because I don't do that. I'm a person to preach truth on people. And so in the truth of Christ is all the red text was meant to be read as self. Like everything in that red text was meant to be like, okay, you are supposed to reflect this to yourself. I'm telling you to live in this way, and you will live a much longer life for yourself. You will find much more happiness for yourself. These things that you want, that you think these people over here are offering you in their parade or circus, is an act, like the Wizard of Oz. These are people behind the veil that are making you think that something's going on, and you perpetuate that into existence. But you can perpetuate for yourself these things. And that's what I'm about. Like people understanding that the power is within yourself to provide your happiness, because that's the overall goal for yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna keep repeating the cycle if you don't learn that your true happiness is the end goal of this whole thing. And it doesn't take, like, if you impose bad things on other people, you're not gonna have true happiness, because that's lingering, like that's attached to you like a spider web. Like that's there. Like you can't cut that off because you made that happen in real life. So that energy is still attached to you. You have to learn to get better with yourself to even detach from that energy. You have to know the secrets to let this go in order to have true happiness once again. You know what I mean? And so the overall goal is just to detach yourself from things of this life because you was giving you, and you need to make you happy. You know what I mean? Like, it might sound selfish, but the selfishness within for that little bit for you to enjoy yourself is going to help the rest of the world, because the rest of the world is going to be happy and not miserable about nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, so that's it. Like, you know, I'm teaching people they the solution. You know what I mean? And I think that's been my overall like goal of, you know, like even putting Christ in my name. Like, whether you are atheist, you are Buddhist, whatever, you still know the name Jesus Christ. You know, just like in music, whether you like country, rock, whatever, you still know who Michael Jackson is. You know, and so that's been my whole goal with music. At one point, I thought the fame part was the more important part to go towards in order to reach that. But I learned later in life that the self part was the most important thing to go towards in order to reach that. Because when people see a confident you know what I mean, they're gonna listen, you know what I mean, because they want to be a confident them. You know, in a world that shames you for everything, your color, your race, your gender, your decisions, your thought process, even because everybody learning. So like, for somebody to shame you for your thought process is like saying they done reached the final pinnacle of understanding everything, you know. So, you know, that's pretty. I'm you done turn this into a sermon. I don't really.
I was gonna say, come on. I thought I had to pass the pen for a minute. I was like, come on now. Man, that was good.
But that's it. Like, you know, I just make it look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it you know, you see my song Twerkathon. It's gonna be some ass shaking in there, and you know, you know, if it's there, it's there. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of natural life. But like, beyond that, do you see the message? Did you hear in that song, you know, be confident with who you are? Like, there's a whole article. You can Google this. You can Google Christou and Twerkathon, and it's a whole article online. I ain't pay for it, none of that. Like, it's a natural article where the person talks about, you know, women empowerment that was experienced with me not having nobody superficial on there, or, you know, made up or bought or anything like that. You know, just real people just, you know, doing their thing, shaking, having a good time. Like, you know, that's what it's all about for me. You know what I mean? Like, real life people, like, enjoying themselves.
Man, this has been a great conversation. You're going to come back again at the end of the year.
Man, you can have me anytime, y'all. This has been one of my greatest interviews. You can have me anytime. I appreciate you.
Thank you. So now you know what time it is. This is your BTS 30 Seconds of Fame. So I'm going to run your countdown again. And then after that, you're going to be on the platform by yourself. This is your moment to tell everybody what's coming up for you for the rest of the year, how to follow your journey, you know, all the good stuff about you. And you're going to be up here by yourself now after the countdown. I'm not going to be up here with you initially, okay? I have to tell them.
Good. Let's get it.
They got like, where you at? So after the countdown, it's on you.
All right, let's go.
Girl, that's why I said I do. I will protect our world. My every word is true. Communication and trust, that's what they scared to do. Don't tally up my flaws, and I won't tally yours.
Yo, what's going on, man? This is the one and only Christou. You know what's happening. What happening, what it do, what it is. Hey, look, follow me on everything I got coming up on ChristouDaKeeng.com. You already know what time it is, man. The website is going to have everything, the clothes, the conversation, vocal lessons if you're looking for that, beats if you're looking for that. I produce all kind of music, all types of genres. So y'all just look into me. I got music coming, videos coming, some content coming on the way. Like, this whole year is about to be a vibe. Just follow me. You're going to learn to meet new people and discover new things. So just check me out at Christou DaKeeng on everything. You already know what time it is, man. Social media at Christou DaKeeng. You see it right there. Spell it out. Christou, ChristouDaKeeng. It's already going up. You feel me? Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you so much for coming and taking out the time of your day to talk to me and let me shine a light on you and all the amazing things you're doing as an artist. Listen, when that next song come out, let me know so I can advertise it on my end and get more people to your song.
Oh, you gonna like this one. You gonna like this. It's a real vibe. I'm telling you. Aquaman, y'all look out for it, man. It's a real vibe. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much to everybody else out there that's tuning into this amazing episode. Yes, man, he is killing it over there. I hope that you have enjoyed getting to know Christou DaKeeng and his incredible journey through the music world, from singing to songwriting to producing, artist development. His passion shines through in everything that he does. Y'all seen it. Be sure to keep an eye out for Aquaman and all these songs that he has coming out this year, as he drops it every single month of 2025, building up this highly anticipated album that he's going to put out at the end. So stay connected, y'all. Stay connected and stay inspired. And remember to always speak your truth. So until next time, stay strong. Later.
Yeah, that's Louis.
Muzzy made this. Christou. I wanna be with you. Through the rough times, I'm gonna be with you. You know I love you, girl. That's why I said I do. I will protect our world. My every word is true. Communication and trust, that's what they scared to do. Don't tell it it's my flaws, and I won't tell it yours. No, I don't care who they are, they on their own accord. Girl, it's you and I who wants to be with you. All we gotta do is try and see it through. We done had it out before, going through conversations we can't ignore. We had to cool down from the heat. Shit gets sour and sweet. We put petty on repeat. Damn. Know we got our obstacles. And know we got a lot to go. But I won't let that split our soul. I see too many fall. That cannot be us though. I want to see us grow. Oh, bigger picture. If love is on the scale, we off the rig. Sweeping out what they say like a swift. Let's get rich, split the difference. Through the rough times, I'm gonna be with you. You know I love you, girl. That's why I said I do. I will protect our world. My every word is true. Communication and trust, that's what they scared to do. Don't tell it it's my flaws, and I won't tell it yours. No, I don't care who they are, they on their own accord. Girl, it's you and I who wants to be with you. All we gotta do is try and see it through. We don't ever switch, we for the home team. Even when we saying stuff we don't mean. And I want everything for you, even what we don't see. Ride or die is our way, and we living long dreams. If I'm Martin, you Coretta, I don't see nobody better. All we need is better shelter for rainy and sunny weather. To hate, we say nothing ever. Our wait is a ton of love, so we rain our ways and forever. Through the pain and the pleasure, don't tell it of my flaws, and I won't tell it yours. Let me be a boss, and the world is yours. I done came with a bigger mind. We got a lot on our plates, bait is dinner time. Through the rough times, I'm gonna be with you. You know I love you, girl. That's why I said I do. I will protect our world. My every word is true. Communication and trust, that's what they scared to do. Don't tell it it's my flaws, and I won't tell it yours. No, I don't care who they are, they on their own accord. Girl, it's you and I who wants to be with you. All we gotta do is try and see it through. Yeah.
Thanks for watching another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.